This is the 49th episode of God's Chosen podcast. Today we are going to talk about surrendering. Why we should surrender and what are the benefits to doing so. Remember, to surrender doesn't mean you give up on what you want. You give up trying to control when and how those things come to you. Just let go of control and trust everything will work out. Let's dive in. Enjoy.
What up, y'all? It's your boy, GodsChosen. So today, we're going to talk about something that's going to help a lot of people if they do it. You got to do it and watch miracles happen. So today, we're going to talk about surrendering. We're going to talk about surrender, all right? Surrender, what do you mean? Like, yes, give yourself up and go to jail. No, that's not what I mean. I'm talking about surrendering to God. So, sometimes we can be stubborn as humans. We can be stubborn. Like, we want to keep trying stuff our own way. Even though we know that our way is limited, but sometimes we feel better because we think we have control. And while we may have some sort of control, what we don't understand is it's not the type of thing where you're ever going to see like the big picture. You're going to have control or seemingly have control, but it's going to be within your limited view, your limited scope. And while you may think that that's okay, and with this quote unquote control, it's going to take you to where you want to go, maybe. But think about this. If you actually surrendered, would it have taken you further? Would it have taken you places you never dreamed or imagined? Would it have been the place or even better than where you wanted to be all along? Because, you see, when we surrender is when we really get all the benefits. So, let's say you're having trouble with your finance. Surrender your finances to God. Let's say you're having relationship issues. Surrender your relationship to God. Any problems, any issues, anything that you can think of, if you're having health challenges, surrender your body to God. Surrender. Do it. That is the one thing that's keeping you stuck. Not surrendering. Because when you surrender, now you get all the protection. Now you get all the benefits. You become untouchable. Because no one can stop God. And once you surrendered, you're right there with God. Because you say, God, use me how you want to use me. I want to be of service. And I surrender control to you. Because you know better than I do. You're all-knowing. I know a little bit, but it ain't all-knowing. You know what I'm saying? God knows you better than you know yourself. So, if you surrender, what can't He do for you? He can do a lot for you. You just may have heard about it. You may have thought about it. You may have even done it once or twice, but then you just couldn't wait for the result and you just took back control because it was just so nerve-wracking to not have control. I've been there, trust me, I know. Like, when you're used to doing things your way, it's hard to change it up. But it's highly beneficial Because you know what I noticed? Our way is usually filled with struggle. You know, we go through a lot to get what we want. If we surrender, the journey will be a lot less hard. It'll be easier. It'll be less struggle on the journey. All the things that were blocking us will clear. You know, it just open up wide. Sun shining, rain gone, clouds gone. Now we moving into the things that God wants for us. We moving into something where everybody wins. It's not just one person. You win, God wins. Everybody on the planet wins, because now God is going to use you in your highest calling. And your highest calling, you benefit a lot more people than just yourself. Because you're doing what you need to be doing. You're doing what you was sent here to do. You're not working a 9-to-5 stuck behind a desk because you have to be. You out here helping people grow, change, and elevate. And you're doing it and you're doing it in step with God. And it gives you the freedom to do other things, to move how you want to move. Because you're being obedient, everything you do is going to be blessed. And then guess what happens? All the things that used to affect you, all the things that you really looked at as problems and challenges, God will take care of them for you. God will move those out the way. You won't even have to ask. It'll be done. The things that affect others won't affect you anymore. Because as long as you surrender and you stay obedient, it's a different game for you. You're not playing in the same game everybody else playing. Your path, your road is going to look way easier, a lot smoother, and more prosperous than a lot of the people you know. So, what would you give up to gain everything? Would you surrender control to gain everything? Gotta ask that question. I would. I'm realizing like I'm doing too much. It don't have to be this way. It don't have to be struggle. It can be harmonious. It can be a relatively peaceful walk. But I gotta surrender. And I gotta make sure that I'm in that frame every day, making sure that I'm not trying to drive. Because we may have plans, we may have destinations, but God has the ultimate destination, and He can take us places that we've never seen, we've never dreamed. We couldn't even imagine, because, I mean, months ago, I didn't see myself doing a podcast. Not like this, you know? But I was an artist. That was my focus. I was trying to be an artist. I was trying to do a multi-talented. I could do many things, but I was focused on artists, being an artist, and writing, and all these other things that I can do, you know, and really just having a creative outlet, right? And I like to have fun with the things that I do. So being an artist was fun for me, as far as having a creative outlet to where I can express myself freely, right? And I didn't think I would be doing no podcast, like, not about this, you know, not at all. But as I was getting closer with God and my spirituality, what I realized was, while music is cool, it would only take me so far. It wouldn't allow me to have the kind of reach that this does. This actually gives me a wider audience, way more than my music could ever touch. Because I'm talking about everyday things. I'm talking about real things. You know, a lot of people can relate to the things that I'm talking about. And you don't have to be of a particular background in order to do that. You don't have to have any kind of religious affiliation at all. But you can learn something, and you can take what you learn and use it in your life. Because what I realized is, it's good to read your Bible. It's good to go to church, but you got to go to the right church. You can't just go to any church and thinking that's just because you're in church that's good. No, you got to go to a church where they got prophets. You got to go to a church where they actually can predict or prophesize over your life. That's when you know and actually when they prophecies actually come true, that's how you know, okay, they legit. They not phony. They not fake. They not just pretending to be a prophet just to get your money. Because you got people like that out there that will pretend to be this just to get you to fill that collection plate and run away with your money. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a real one, real prophet, a prophetess that can actually see things and prophesize over your life. They help to share God's vision and God's plans. Before he does anything, God will show his prophets what he's going to do. And then how you know that they're a prophet of God is because what they prophesize comes true. One time I seen this, it was this lady on YouTube, and she was going off, man, and she was talking all this stuff. And you would think she was a prophet or a prophetess. You would think that she was, because of all the things she was saying and all this, but none of it came true. And that's how I knew she was phony. None of it came true. Nothing she said came true. But anyway, just going back to surrendering. Do it. That's what I'm going to tell you. Do it. It will change your life. Do it. Surrender everything to God. Let him drive. You kick up your feet and you just enjoy the view. All right? Don't try to grab the wheel. Don't try to regain control. Let God drive. Get comfortable in letting God drive. Get comfortable with you being uncomfortable, because it is going to feel different. It's going to feel like you want to grab the wheel because you're not used to not having control. So resist. Affirm that you trust God and you know what he's doing. I trust you, God. I trust your plan. I'm going to go with you. I'm sticking with it. I'm going to ride all the way. If I slip, I'm going to get back up. I'm going to surrender again until I get it right. Until I can get comfortable with surrendering. Because That's really when the problems come in. The problems come in when we don't surrender, when we try to do it all on our own. And while we may have some success, it's going to be way harder than if we just surrender to God, because God already want to give it to you. God already want to make the path easy, and He will. It's just you got to get out your way. You got to believe He gonna do what He said He's gonna do. You got to trust, and it can be hard to trust because we see everything going on around us, and it looks like nothing is happening. It looks like no movement is being made. But I urge you to, when everything looks like that, that's when I need you to double down and stay focused. If you got to read a verse from the Bible, go ahead and read a verse from the Bible to keep your head right, keep your eyes on the prize, and just to continue in that state of surrendering. Don't quit. Don't give up. If you fall and slip, it's cool. Get back up. Resurrender. All right? It's a process. It's not going to happen overnight. But what I would recommend is make a list of all the things that's affecting you right now. Make a list of the things that you want. Make a list of the things that are problems for you, and surrender everything on that list to God. And then go about your business. You ain't got to do nothing extra. After you do that, go about your day. If you have any doubts along the way, I trust you, God. Just affirm, I trust you, God. And let Him drive. Let Him lead the way. And see what happened in your life, and see how things turn around for you real quick. Trust me on that. All right? Trust me on that. Because what you're going to notice is things are just going to start working out for you. And you ain't going to have to break your neck. You won't have to struggle. You won't have to deal with anything extra. You won't have to deal with no BS. You don't got to deal with no issues that you don't want to deal with. You don't have to get headaches. You ain't got to get frustrated. You ain't got to get angry because something is in your life that you don't want in your life anymore. Surrender it all to God and let Him take the wheel. All your problems. Anything comes up along the day that you don't like or you want to change, surrender. Surrender the outcome. Because, for one thing, the reason why I'm doing this is I want to heal. I want to heal others. And in so doing, I'm healing myself. You know? But it all starts with surrendering and keeping that focus, making sure that we don't need, just reminding ourselves we don't need to have control in order for things to work out right. We think we do, but we don't. Watch what I'm telling you. Surrender and see what God does with you. See what happens in your life. That is one of the most important things that you could ever do. Because it's going to take you to another level. Believe it. It's going to take you to a whole nother level. It's going to upgrade you. And that's one of the fastest ways to get upgraded. Because, we think life has to be problematic. We think that we have to struggle in order to get certain places. But the truth of the matter is, if we don't know what God is offering, if we don't know about the idea of surrendering, if we don't even know about that, how can we do it? I bet a lot of y'all haven't even heard about that. A lot of y'all haven't even thought about that. It's foreign to y'all. And if you have heard of it, you haven't done it to the extent that you could. But if you do it, like I'm asking you to do it, you're going to be surprised at the results. You're going to be happy. And watch the shift that takes place in your life. Watch how your money situations clear up. Because guess what? When you surrender your finances, your money now is under the protection of God. What does that mean? Nothing can affect your money no more. If somebody is doing spells, magic, witchcraft, trying to affect your money, it's not going to work. If someone is doing spells on you and you surrender to God, it's not going to work. They will be wasting their time. You will just chill. You just be chilling and they over there doing spells and it ain't working. Because you are no longer yours, so to speak. You are no longer in control. You surrendered to God, and now God has said, okay, this is my vessel. I'm going to use this vessel. I'm going to use this person in a way that's going to fulfill my purpose. And you like, okay, God, I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. I'm down. I'm ready. And then because God is using you to fulfill a purpose, He's going to make sure that you're taken care of. He's going to make sure that all your needs are met before you even have a chance to ask. Now, what I'm saying is this. When you surrender, you're not letting go of the things you want. You can still have the things you want. What you're letting go of is trying to control it. You can still want what you want, but you just got to let go to control. That's what you're doing when you surrender. All right? So I'm going to leave it right there, y'all. Y'all be cool. It's your boy, God's Chosen, and I'm out.